Ohio lawmakers want to cut back on food stamp fraud by adding photos to food stamp cards instead of people using their cards with just a PIN code.
They would then have to show a photo ID with their food card, adding an extra step for cashiers. 27 First News reporter Christina Mullen went to a local grocery store, finding out how they feel about that idea.
Worley brothers say they get customers all day long using food stamps. In fact, 15% of all of their sales are those using the Ohio Access Card. Michael Worley says that the Ohio card has came such a long way in the last 10 years. Clients are now given a card. It works like a credit card using a PIN code. Now, adding a photo on the card, it's going to give those cashiers an extra step at the checkout to check IDs to make sure it matches the food stamp card. But Worley says it wouldn't be an extra step because his cashiers are already checking IDs for credit cards. And if it's catching people who are trying to cheat the system, Worley says it's worth it.
I think a photo ID would be okay, and I think that most of the people that use it would be okay. You have to realize it would be a personal relationship between the actual cashier at these retail establishments and the people that are using the Ohio card.
Worley says his store hasn't had any fraud since the Ohio card came out, but he is in favor for adding the photos to the Ohio card. He says it would be incredible if it could cut down 100% of food stamp fraud. For more information on this legislation to pass the law to make photo IDs on all food stamp cards, you can head over to our website, WKBN.com. In the newsroom, Christina Mullen, WKBN 27 First News this morning.